From a tea seller to a millionaire, an incredible story of struggle, a difficult childhood, and an uncertain future. In a crowded slum, Ahmed was born into a simple family that could barely make ends meet. His father worked in a blacksmith shop for a meager daily wage, while his mother sold bread in the popular market to help make ends meet. Life was tough, and days passed slowly for a child who dreamed of more than his circumstances gave him. Ahmed grew up realizing that education was not an option for him, as he was forced to leave school at an early age to help his family. He started working in several small jobs, from cleaning cars to selling tissues at traffic lights, but he did not find any stability or sufficient income to ease his family's suffering. Beginning of work as a tea seller. When he was 16 years old, he decided to work in selling tea. He used an old, worn-out cart, which he would push every morning to one of the crowded streets where workers and employees gathered. Under the scorching sun and the bitter cold of winter, Ahmed stood there, making tea for customers who initially ignored him. The work was not easy. People would sometimes make fun of him, ask for tea and then refuse to pay, but he had no choice but to continue. He would return home exhausted, sometimes without making any profit, but he was determined not to give up. The road was not paved with roses. On the contrary, Ahmed faced many problems. One day, heavy rains ruined all his tea and sugar, causing him to lose his small capital. Another day, his cart was stolen, and he had to borrow money to buy another one, which put him in debt that he did not know how to pay off. Sometimes he would sleep without dinner, and other times he would work extra hours just to make sure he didn't come home empty-handed. With every moment of weakness, he would remember his mother who was working hard to provide for the family, and this would give him the push to continue. One day, while he was making tea as usual, he noticed that most of the customers were looking for something different, a special flavor, a new experience. Then an idea came to him. Why not make his tea special? He started experimenting with new recipes, adding some herbs and spices that others weren't using. He made a special blend of tea with honey and cinnamon and called it energy tea. He wasn't sure if the idea would work, but he decided to give it a try. In the early days, there was no noticeable change, but over time, people started to notice the difference. Some customers started coming from far away to taste energy tea, and his reputation spread among people. Expansion and the beginning of real success. As demand increased, Ahmed decided to develop his project further. He started saving part of his earnings every day, and when he had enough, he bought a new and elegant cart. He rented a small place near the train station where thousands of people pass by every day and started selling there. He had loyal customers, and his profits doubled within a few months. He was no longer just a tea seller, but a successful small business owner. From a tea cart to the first coffee shop. After several years of hard work, Ahmed decided to take a bold step, opening his first coffee shop. He rented a modest shop and equipped it with the simplest facilities, but he kept the secret of his success, energy tea, that made his name in the market. Opening the coffee shop was a risky venture, but he trusted his journey. In the first months, he worked by himself, preparing tea, serving orders, and cleaning the place. He did not have employees or an advertising budget, but he relied on his good reputation and good words with customers. Over time, the coffee shop started making good profits, and he decided to expand his business. He invested in better decor, hired assistants, and started adding other drinks to his menu. It wasn't a few years until he was able to open his second branch, then the third. From a tea seller to a millionaire today, Ahmed is no longer a simple tea seller. He owns a successful chain of cafes, employing dozens of employees, and people are talking about his story as a model of determination and success. He did not forget his roots, but he always helped young people who were going through the same circumstances he went through and encouraged them to work hard and believe in themselves. When someone asks him about the secret of his success, he smiles and says, It all started with a simple cup of tea, but it was made with passion and determination to succeed. Life can be tough and obstacles are many, but success is not limited to anyone. Those who have determination and creativity can turn difficulties into opportunities and dreams into reality. Don't give up because your great success may be behind the first step you hesitate to take.